Oh man, disappointing loss in Vancouver, 2-0. Um, yeah, not a lot of promise in last night's game. I mean, Vancouver obviously, you know, we're trying to keep their postseason hopes alive. We're already in the postseason, but yeah, just a frustrating game. What's up, everyone? My name is Ty Roeder, host of the Verde and Black Show, here on YouTube with your in-depth look analysis recap, all things Austin FC, and yeah, I mean, not a whole lot going for Austin FC last night. We controlled 70% of the possession pretty much, 13 shots, five on goal. We don't get a single goal, four yellow cards, which is just wild. Um, yeah, we're not we're not in form, so that's a little scary there. The lineup, really only changes were Romagna, and at center back, uh, Jimenez started for Lima, and where else are we looking at? Rigoni, I guess he's been seeing more time, but then the substitutes that came on, Felipe came on for Ring, Rodney Redes came on for Danny Pereira, Nick Lima came on for Hector Jimenez, Gite came on for Aruzzi, and then Ethan Finley came on for Rigoni. So we used all five of our substitutes, and we got four yellow cards. Both of our center backs got yellow cards. Ring got a yellow card, and Felipe seems like he gets a yellow card every time he steps on the pitch for Austin FC. Just was a frustrating game to say the least. I think Wolf is, you know, I kind of felt like we weren't gonna have a great performance. What's frustrating is you'd like to think that with a squad that has been so good on the road all season can at least muster up a goal against Vancouver. Granted, I will give credit to where credit is due. Vancouver did need a win to keep their playoff hopes alive. So now we really go into decision day. Decision day ultimately will not affect Austin FC. We have locked up second place in the Western Conference. We can't get first, and we can't drop to third. So LAFC has 64 points. We have 55. Dallas in third. That was the only team we were really worried about. They have 50 after a how'd they do? I know I was looking at this earlier. Dallas. Where are you? They lose to Colorado, so we play Colorado next. So I mean, we locked up second place. That's really what we were going for. I knew we weren't going to catch LAFC, and Dallas, really had to win out, and we had to lose out to basically, drop any more. Interesting things to note, though. We go into decision day, nothing on the line. We can't go up, we can't go down. Two things Wolf could do. One, he could have our starters start the game to at least continue that continuity within the starting lineup, and then maybe pull them off at halftime, or make a lot of substitutes at halftime to really get some other players minutes, but also save some legs because it has been a long season. Two, the other option I think he may choose to do. I don't know if I'm a proponent of it. And I'll tell you which one I like more and why I like it more here in a second. The other one he could do is, kind of fiddle with the lineup and mix and match some bench players along with starters in the starting lineup for this upcoming game. And then at halftime or, around the 55th, 60th minute, he brings on either those starters or additional players to kind of sub out the starters initially who started the game. So everyone gets at least like 45 minutes in. I personally prefer the first option. I prefer having our starting lineup play the first 45, first 60 minutes. It's fine with me. First 60 minutes. And then really gauge from there who needs rest, who needs to be taken off, and then make those necessary changes as needed. I think the continuity, I think the togetherness will do wonders heading into the first round of the playoffs. I don't like fiddling with the lineup, especially the starting lineup. because then what ends up happening is, if we start with a weird, wacky lineup, then in about 55, 60 minutes, we basically play the whole game with with a starters and backup lineup, and I don't want that. I understand the rest piece of things, but at the same time, there's 11 players. You can't make 11 substitutions, so you kind of have to pick and choose. You only have 5 substitutes. So I personally like our playoff starting lineup starting this game against Colorado. We have a full week to rest. There's no reason why we shouldn't. 60th, I would even halftime, sub off the players. One, who either tired, two, have maybe some lingering injuries, three, just look dead and tired, and you could tell that they need some rest before playoff time. We'll see what he does, though. There's pros and cons because obviously he's a lot more in tune with the health of the players than I am by a long stretch of the margin. And so maybe some players won't start because they do have those lagging injuries, and he wants to protect them for the playoffs. So I get that too. We'll just have to wait and see. But man, it's a race for seventh place. Minnesota lost last night. Salt Lake is in eighth place with 44 points. Vancouver, who just beat us, man, they're 2 points behind Minnesota with 1 day left. So that was a big win for Vancouver. 3 teams. I would say, man, I'm looking at the standings right now, and it's a toss up who we're going to be playing. LA Galaxy are in 4th place with 47 points, but then Colorado, who's still kind of in it, who we play next. Colorado basically has to win and hope for a lot of crazy things to happen to even think about getting in. But 4th place through 10th place in the Western Conference are all somewhat in it. So, as 2nd place, LAFC get the bye. That means we'll be playing I believe the 7th seed. So right now the 7th seed is Minnesota. I don't want to play Minnesota. 6th seed is Portland. I'd be okay with playing Portland. Salt Lake is 8th. I'm okay with playing Salt Lake. Vancouver I'd be okay with. Colorado I'd be okay with. Interesting notes are technically LA and Nashville could both drop down if Portland and Minnesota win their 2 games. And LA and Nashville, one of them could lose and drop down to 7th. So I do not want to play the Galaxy or Nashville in round 1, even if it's at home. I don't care. I don't want to do it. That's tough. Save those for second round, and then from there, it's playoff time. Anything can happen. But I just, our first ever playoff game, I want to have confidence going in, especially Nashville. Nashville is a buzzsaw that I do not want to see. But that really does it for me. I know it's tough watching the team, but just have hope. We have locked up our place in the playoffs. We're locked into 2nd place. So don't be too concerned about how the team is playing. Obviously you want results, you want wins, but it's tough when there's not a lot to play for in the current setting. So decision day is next Sunday. We don't have a lot to play for, which is good and bad. But at least we know we're in. We know we'll have at least one more game after that. So let's go get them, and listos. See you all later.